What is up, everyone? Welcome to the week before opening day, on the day that should have been opening day edition of What's in the Box Score. I am Rick Weiner, joined as always by Mr. Mark Rowland. That way, I'll get this right at some point.
Yep.
Mark, should we just get the obligatory slapping each other across the face out of the way?
Yeah. I say we do it off the top of the show. We don't wait until 2.5 hours in when nobody's really paying attention anymore. And I totally missed it on the live broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, your live stream was excellent. I hope everyone was watching that.
Yeah, thank you.
But yeah, Will Smith smacking Chris Rock. You're not getting that here because Mark's in Syracuse and I'm in Long Island.
Yes.
So as much as I enjoyed the drive there, we weren't doing it for tonight's broadcast.
Yes.
What we are going to do is we're going to break down the upcoming MLB season. We are going to make our predictions, who's winning what, divisions, playoffs, and awards. So it's going to be a long one. So let's get started. Starting the AL East. I'll just give you my division from top to bottom. I don't think this is shocking. I don't think it's going to change things. It's the Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Rays, and the Orioles. How do you see things?
Yeah, I mean, that's basically the exact same order I have. It's so weird to have the Rays finish fourth. I don't like it because they're the Rays and they're going to find a way to win 90 games.
Yeah, like I was going to preface mine. I should have prefaced mine by saying if Tampa Bay winds up second and then it's the Yankees and the Red Sox and those three teams kind of flip order where the Yankees are in fourth or the Red Sox are in fourth, like I could see it. Like they're all pretty close. They all have similar flaws, I feel. But the Blue Jays, I mean, they're just so far and away the best team in this division. I don't think it's going to be particularly close.
Oh, yeah. The Blue Jays for sure are, I mean, they're the favorite or they're actually not a favorite in the PECOTA standings, which is strange. That's very strange. 98 wins for the Yankees. Wait a minute. PECOTA, what are we talking about?
Are you sure you look at it this year and not last year?
As of 3/28/2022?
Yeah, no, I see it right there.
That's strange. Maybe we're not going to use PECOTA because that's a load of bullshit.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't know if the Yankees and the Red Sox are any better than 500 teams. Maybe a game or two over because they get to beat up on the Orioles more than most teams, but I think that between the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Rays, they're just going to eat each other alive. So no one's going to be able to gain any real traction between those three.
Where's I'm trying to get the Fangraphs ones because that's what we had last week.
It's up. I'm looking at it on my other computer.
Can you send me the link in the private chat, and then I'll just bring that up on the screen?
Yeah, give me a second.
Because the Yankees winning 90. What the hell does PECOTA see with the Yankees? I think the Red Sox and Yankees are better than 500 teams. Just because they each get to beat up on the Orioles every once in a while, and that'll be nice. But I don't see the Yankees winning that many games. I think they're I would say the Red Sox and Yankees between 88 and 91 wins apiece.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. Maybe I'm a little too pessimistic, saying that they're around 500 teams. But I mean, I don't see any of those teams getting to 95 or above.
Yeah, it's going to be a tight one, and we've sort of gotten used to the AL East being the best division in baseball. Thank you. Just bring this up here.
But yeah, I mean, the Yankees and the Red Sox, they both have the same problem, right? They've got terrific offenses. They've got 1.5 pitchers in their starting rotation, and that's it. Like I give the Yankees the edge in the bullpen because I still think Boston's bullpen is still a dumpster fire.
It is.
But after that, like there's not much separating the two. And we know the Yankees have for years been an all or nothing kind of team. They don't manufacture runs. The Red Sox have been a little bit better than that, but they're still very reliant on the long ball. So, like, if either one of those teams goes into a slump, or if Judge gets hurt, or if JD Martinez's back starts barking again, like, they're going to have some issues.
Yeah, for sure. And, well, the thing you're not taking into consideration, Rick, is it's not the Yankees' fault that they keep losing. It's the Astros' fault.
Literally the dumbest thing that come out of Brian Cashman's mouth. And the fact that Yankee fans are so... And, again, I'm a Yankee fan. I've been a Yankee fan for 45 years. All right? Like, when we had Dennis Rasmussen as our ace, I was excited.
You were at the games.
I was. I'm third grade. I was at the games with these fucking people and the pitching staff because I wanted to see Mattingly and I wanted to see Winfield and I wanted to see Ricky Henderson because we had a great offense but no pitching, much like this year. But the Yankees fans are like, yeah, Cashman's right. They cheated. We got screwed. And it's like, wait a second. You're blaming the Astros for your postseason drought, but in the same sentence saying, I'm over it. No, you're not. You just bought it up.
And the thing that gets me the most is the Yankees are about to have this letter released. That will expose them as cheaters as well.
Yeah, did we forget that you had A-Rod and Giambi and who else under Cashman's watch, shooting
not
up
under Cashman's watch since 2009. A-Rod, Cano, like there's multiple people that have failed drug tests, and now you're about to have your own sign stealing scandal. You can't say this. You can't come out and be like, yeah, it's the Astros' fault. They cheated better than we did.
It won't be a scandal because the media in New York will just be like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, we got to talk about the game. We can't be worried about this. Because it's all about access, and they don't want the Yankees to get mad at them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But, yeah, back to the AL East. It's interesting because the top 3 teams in this division are all fantastic lineups. And the Rays have a good lineup too. The Rays lineup I feel like is going slightly underrated in this. Wander Franco is a star. Randy Arozarena has potential to be a star. I don't think he's quite put it all together yet like he did in the 2020 postseason, but he's got potential to be a star. Brandon Lau hit 38 home runs last year and no one cared.
Yeah, it was it was like Salvador Perez when he hit 44, 45. It was the quietest 45 home run season ever. Nobody talked about it.
And so the Rays have a really good lineup too, but the Blue Jays, I mean, I'll take them in a slugfest over any team in baseball.
Oh yeah, and let's not sleep on the top half of that Orioles lineup either. That top half of the Orioles lineup, you got Cedric Mullins, Ryan Mountcastle, Anthony Santander, Trey Mancini, and Austin Hayes. That's a pretty good 1 through 5.
It's a pretty good 1 through 5 if you didn't move the left field fence back 30 feet.
Well, that's a problem. Yeah.
At Old Camden Yards, that's a great top half of the lineup. Ryan Mountcastle, I love. Mancini's a stud, obviously. Mullins is a stud. But the problem is, and my buddy Nunez brought this up on Hot Stove on Monday because he was just ragging on the Orioles over moving the fence back.
Yeah.
Mountcastle and Mancini are pull-heavy right-handed hitters who don't hit the ball particularly hard.
Right.
They just hit a lot of home runs at Camden Yards. What are we talking about here?
Well, apparently they were very scared of Gleyber Torres and the handful of times he's going to visit.
In an attempt to stop Gleyber Torres from turning into Ted Williams against you, you neutralized 2 of your 3 best players.
I mean, Gleyber is a threat when they decide to play him or he decides to show up.
It's just a poorly run organization at this point. I'm still mad about their broadcast network, Masson, firing Gary Thorne for no reason. He's one of the best play-by-play guys in the business. He's out of a job right now.
Well, I mean, Masson had their own problems. They were being sued by the Nationals for years.
As they should have been, because they didn't give the Nationals any time.
Yeah, but this division, I mean, it's Toronto's to lose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it would take I think it would take a very significant injury for the Blue Jays to not win this thing. I mean, we
Yeah.
talk about their lineup, but that rotation is filthy.
Yeah, there's
If
a lot
these
of great
guys
stuff
pitch
in
like
that
they're
rotation.
supposed to,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Jose Barrios, Kevin Gausman, Hyunjin Ryu, Alek Manoah, and Yusei Kikuchi.
Kikuchi's a good 5.
Kikuchi might be the best, like low level, like completely under the radar signing that nobody's talking about of the offseason. He's a good pitcher. He didn't have great numbers in Seattle, but he's a good pitcher.
Yeah, you're much higher on Kikuchi than I am. I think he's fine, but I think he's a really good number 5 starter. I think he sort of got screwed by the fact that he was like the number 2 in Seattle. Like they really relied on him to go out there and eat some innings at times.
He was the ace for a while.
Yeah, for a little while there, he was the ace, but then they,
I
they
mean,
didn't really need him.
Ace as in that he had to be. It wasn't because he was the best pitcher. It was because they literally had nobody else.
Yeah. But I think as a number 5 starter, it doesn't get much better than that. And I agree, it isn't under the radar signing because he does have really good stuff. The command is worrisome at times. He either like goes through these spurts of walking guys or he throws it right down the middle and gets hit really hard.
Oh yeah, but let's also not forget that this is probably the first time that he's going to be on a rotation where he's not the oldest guy on the rotation.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if you don't think that he's picking the brains of the guys that had him, like Barrios and Ryu especially,
yeah,
like you're crazy. Like there's no way that he's not going to come out with a new trick or two.
Oh, for
or
sure.
A little tweak here or there, and sometimes that's all that that's all you need to make a major difference.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and that rotation is nasty. We'll see with the bullpen. It's so hard to project bullpens just because of how volatile relief pitching is.
Yeah.
So we'll see about the bullpen. Like I can easily say the Red Sox will have a bad bullpen, because they went out and got Matt Strom and Jake Diekman instead of getting Kenley Jansen.
Yeah.
And
I don't get it.
They did re-sign Hansel Robles, and I sent out a tweet because he's been a little late to spring training. Because he was a late signing. And
yes, didn't you say something along the lines of send him back?
No, I said I hope his flight gets delayed.
Okay, something like that.
Because I don't. Hansel Robles might be my least favorite player in baseball.
I don't have Hansel Robles doesn't make me feel anything.
Yeah, because he hasn't pitched for your team.
Yeah. That might be.
Ask Mets and Angels fans what they think about Hansel Robles. They'll be on the same side as me.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say one thing about the Yankees bullpen. It's not going to be as good as it was. They don't have Zach Britton at all this year. He's out for the season with Tommy John surgery. Mm-hmm. Chad Green, Clay Holmes, Wandy Peralta, they're all nice pitchers. But, it's pretty much Chapman and nothing.
Yeah, Lois Saiga.
Lois Saiga's good, but Lois Saiga's also I don't see him as, I know he's pitched in this role primarily last year, but to me he's more of a middle
swing
relief swing guy. He's Ramiro Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
For Yankee fans who remember Ramiro Mendoza.
Which I think that could work for him. I also do think he could just be a lockdown closer. The stuff absolutely plays.
No, he can. He absolutely can. But I would have felt better if it was Britton in Chad Green and not him, because I feel like he's more valuable in that swing role.
Yeah, I can see that. I do really like him, and I think they should give him another shot in the rotation too.
Well, they may have to, because they have Garrett Cole and a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. How healthy is Severino? Has he gotten hurt again?
He's just reported all over body soreness was the latest report. He says he's fine.
Yes, that's always a good thing. My entire body hurts.
He threw his bullpen yesterday, and apparently everything looked okay. But look, if you want to convince yourself that Luis Severino is a legitimate, starting option and you can rely on him, good luck with that.
Mm-hmm.
The guy hasn't shown that he's durable. He hasn't shown that he can stay healthy. He may be like Chapman, who Chapman was terrible as a starter. and he had issues as a starter, and then they moved him to the bullpen, and he's been a maniac.
Well, the thing with that is he was originally in the bullpen, and they were like, "This guy's really good here. Let's see if we can have him throw more innings." And then they tried that, and that's when he broke down.
Yeah, well,
It's the Neftali Feliz. It's
yeah, and I'm not saying that
Yeah.
Severino should be the closer. I'm just saying if you want to keep this guy around, that may ultimately be what they have to do.
yeah, and
and they don't have depth. They
no,
don't have any pitching depth. Look, I'm as high on Clark Schmidt as the next person, but I haven't seen enough.
it's amazing how quickly the Yankees went from having like really good young pitching depth to all of a sudden they either sucked or are gone. Like Chance Adams, Justice Sheffield, they're
James Kaprelian.
Yeah, Caprelli. He's in Oakland now, right?
Yeah, I mean he can't stay healthy either. But
Yeah.
I mean when he's healthy, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, and those three guys were so hyped up for so long, and then
Adams Ian Clarkin was supposed to be a thing, and they traded him in the Glaber trade.
Yeah,
like and he hasn't done anything. It's just there's a lot. I mean, prospects are tough to get right, but the Yankees seem to get them wrong more often than not, especially when it comes to pitchers.
Yeah.
Although that may just be because they don't know what they're doing. Cue the Joba Chamberlain rules. Because talk about destroying a guy's career.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did to Joba. And they tried to do it with Phil Hughes, and they tried to do it to Ian Kennedy.
Yeah, it's interesting how the Yankees try to go about.
But it's not their fault. It's all Houston's fault.
It's all Houston's fault.
Everything. Not making the playoffs, not developing homegrown starters, like the ticket prices, the traffic.
Yep.
It's all Houston's fault.
The traffic.
Can't blame the Yankees. They got nothing to do with it. They're innocent. Brian Cashman's a genius. Anything else you have on the AL East?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right. Where are you sitting in the AL Central? I'm guessing we're pretty similar here.
I personally have it White Sox, Tigers, Royals, Twins, Guardians.
I have the exact same thing.
Okay, so yes, we're very similar. The White Sox are obviously the cream of the crop in this division. If they can stay healthy, they are in the conversation for the best team in baseball, in my opinion. Which it's amazing how quickly the White Sox got underrated when a lot of people, myself included, overrated them last year. I had them in the World Series last year, and all of a sudden people are like, yeah, White Sox, they play in a shitty division, but they'll win it. And it's like, no. This is a great team.
Yeah.
The construction of this team is insane. I know they lost Rodon to the Giants, but they've still got, Giolito, Lance Lynn, 1-2. That's a pretty damn good 1-2 in a rotation.
Yeah, I mean, and then Dylan Cease is right there as number
Dylan
3.
Cease, the bullpen arms.
The bullpen.
Garrett Crochet is just Randy Johnson in the bullpen, which is insane. Hopefully Hendricks is the primary setup man this year so they can use Kimbrel as the closer, because we all know that Kimbrel can't pitch if it isn't the 9th inning. It's one of the strangest anomalies in baseball that a pitcher as great as Craig Kimbrel can't pitch outside of the 9th inning.
It's a thing, I guess.
It is a thing. We've seen it firsthand. Like, we've seen it for years that this guy in the 8th inning turns into Jeff Weaver. And in the 9th inning, he's Craig Kimbrel and one of the best closers ever.
Yeah, I mean, they do legitimately have 3 all-star closers in this bullpen.
Yeah.
Like Hendricks, Kimbrel, and Kendall Graveman. All 3 of them can close.
I forgot they have Kendall Graveman.
Yeah.
That guy's a stud.
Yeah, they signed him right before the lockout.
Yeah, so Garrett Crochet is going to be coming in like the 5th inning. That's gross.
Yeah, but that's gross. But think about how much better that is for that rotation.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if they limit especially guys like Lynn, who's getting up there, Giolito, who's had issues before, Keuchel, who's, that his arm's still connected, is amazing with the amount of innings that he's thrown. And Kopech, we forgot about Kopech.
I forgot about Michael Kopech. That guy's nasty.
Yeah, like the guy throws 8,000 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and he's their number 5 starter or a bullpen piece, depending on which way it goes.
Yeah. And,
Like, they're sick. They're a disgustingly talented team.
and then obviously Luis Robert, Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson, Yohan Moncada, Jose Abreu. The talent on this, Yasmani Grandal is their catcher. Like, the talent on this team is off the charts. And just because they play in a division that's going to be filled with mediocrity, it's, no one cares about him anymore.
Yeah, it's because they haven't done anything sexy. They haven't made a sexy move. Their big move was
They didn't
Graveman.
need to.
Yeah, but that's just it. Like, their
Yeah.
big moves were Kendall Graveman and Josh Harrison. Like,
I
those
forgot
were
they
the
got
two.
Jay Hay too. I
Yeah,
like
those
Jay
were
Hay.
the two. Well, they needed them because they literally did not have a second baseman.
Yeah.
But like, this team is just so disgustingly good,
Mhm.
and like you said, this division is just so disgustingly mediocre.
Yeah.
That's not to say that I think Detroit and Kansas City are bad teams.
Yeah, I think
they're
they're
both
fine teams.
I mean, you pointed it out, I think, last week, that from May 1st on last year, that Detroit had like something like the 4th or 5th best winning percentage in the AL.
Yeah, they didn't finish a month under 500 after April.
Yeah,
They were
like,
500 or better in every month after April.
yeah, and then you look at who they added to this team, and it's just like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
Eduardo Rodriguez is going to be one of the most underrated signings in baseball this year, I think, because he's a big fly ball pitcher. I've watched a lot of Eduardo Rodriguez. Love the guy. He's a big fly ball pitcher, and his pitching style was not conducive to Fenway Park in the slightest.
No.
Put him in Comerica, a significantly larger ballpark. He's still going to give up fly balls. He's still going to give up home runs, not nearly at the rate he did at Fenway or in any of those American League East ballparks, because they're all bandboxes. So I think putting him in this division, is specifically in this ballpark for 81 games, is going to help him tremendously. I think he's going to do a lot for the young arms in that rotation.
Exactly.
And this is a guy that's been through hell and back, Eduardo Rodriguez. He had to sit out the COVID season because he had a heart condition that he developed due to COVID-19. This isn't a guy that's, this is a tough son of a bitch, and he's going to, give those lessons to these young Detroit pitchers, many of which I'm high on. Love Casey Mize. I really like Skubal. Matt Manning kind of sucks, but hey, he's a, decent arm at the back end of the rotation. I really like Detroit, and yeah, the lineup. Spencer Torkelson's going to be up most of the year. Riley Green's going to be up most of the year. Javier Baez, Akil Baddoo, who was a superstar for about 3.5 weeks last year, and then everyone forgot about him, and he still put together a really solid year.
Oh yeah, for a Rule 5 draft pick. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
this is a team to watch out for, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with everything you said about the rotation, about Erod. And it's for that same reason, Erod and his impact on the bats, on the young arms, is why I'm so high on Kansas City.
Yeah.
With Greinke, because I think Greinke's, going to have the same exact impact on the younger arms that the Royals have. And yeah, they're not as hyped as the Tigers' young arms. They're not as, maybe they don't have quite as high a ceiling, but they're still really talented pitchers, and they're all under the age of 26.
I think Brady Singer could easily be like the best pitcher out of any of these two teams.
Look, if you told me that Singer was the best out of either one, I'd believe you. If you told me it was Manning or Mize or, who Carlos Hernandez, like, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Because they're all super talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, but we all know that it doesn't quite matter that much. Like, you have to get lucky. You need some breaks to go your way. Mm-hmm. So, that's going to be the difference of who turns out to be the best among this group. But, yeah, it's tough to look at this division and not give it to the White Sox, but Kansas City and Detroit are not going to be pushovers.
No, they're not. And I don't think Minnesota is going to necessarily be a pushover either. That lineup, I think, can still hit enough. It's just all going to be about the pitching.
Yeah, the pitching is what gives me pause with the Twins because, like you said, that lineup. How could you not like a lineup that starts with Byron Buxton, Jorge Polanco, and Carlos Correa?
Yeah, I
Like
mean,
everyone forgets that. Like, oh yeah, the Twins, whatever. Yeah, the Twins who have Byron Buxton and Carlos Correa.
yeah, they're gonna hit, and Miguel Sano's gonna strike out 280 times and hit 48 home runs. Max Kepler is gonna hit 28 home runs. Like there's a lot of guys in this lineup that can hit.
Miguel Sano, Luis Arias,
I forgot about Arias.
Gary, they have the Kraken.
They have a catcher who's gonna hit 179
with 26 home runs and 8,000 strikeouts.
Yeah,
and then they have a third baseman in Gio Urshela who will play all over the infield and catch many of the errant throws that Gary Sanchez unleashes from behind home plate.
No, but yeah, so they're gonna hit. I don't know if they're a 500 team, but I don't think they're going to be pushovers. I think they'll be competitive. I just don't think they have the pitching to compete.
Yeah, I mean, Sonny Gray is fine.
Mm-hmm.
After that, Joe Ryan, Dylan Bundy, Bailey Ober, and what used to be Chris Archer.
Yeah,
you're not really scaring anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And when Randy Dobnak is the guy that you're waiting for to come back from the DL, I just
love the guy, love the story, love the Fu Manchu. But
look, I'll tell you this much: if Kenta Maeda was healthy, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're giving me a rotation that starts with him and Sonny Gray, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, for sure.
And then put Dobnak as the number 4 behind Bundy. Then they're in the same conversation with Kansas City and with Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't matter what you did. Cleveland's not in the conversation.
No, and it's so weird because Cleveland, in my opinion, is very similar to the Brewers. It's all pitching. Like, they still have great pitching. If Shane Bieber's healthy, he's going to be one of the best pitchers in the American League.
Mm-hmm.
If Zach Plesac is a really good pitcher, Tristan McKenzie is a really good pitcher, Cal Quantrill is a really good pitcher. They have so much good pitching. That lineup is horrible.
Yeah, the lineup is atrocious. I don't know that I would put really good in front of most of those guys that you did, but it's.
All right. It has potential to be really good. I'll say.
Yeah. I mean, but when you have a heart of the order that's Jose Ramirez and Franmil Reyes, and you're going to suck as bad as I think they're going to suck, like you're doing baseball wrong.
Yeah. Because Jose Ramirez is a superstar that no one talks about. And I think Franmil Reyes is a really good middle of the lineup hitter.
I love Franmil Reyes.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. He's never going to hit 300, but he'll hit 45 home runs.
Mm-hmm. But the rest of it is just, it's gross.
Like Miles Straw, cool name, not really scaring anyone.
No.
Ahmed Rosario, he didn't scare anyone when he was with the Mets.
Didn't scare anyone when he was with Cleveland last year.
And I love Josh Naylor and Bobby Bradley, but I don't think either one's ever going to be anything more than what they are.
Yes,
and that's left-handed parts of a platoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like this team just is. I'm not sold that they can hang in this division.
Yeah.
I'm with you with Bieber. I mean, Bieber's a monster.
Yeah.
But there's just, and I like the idea of Tristan McKenzie. I just need him to put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
He had some command issues at one point last year, I believe.
He did, yes.
But it's not good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Can Houston win the West without Correa? I think they can. I have them in first. Seattle, Angels, Rangers, and A's is the rest of that division. How do you see it?
I've got Seattle winning the division.
Ooh, okay, here we go.
I'm in on the Mariners. I am all in on Seattle this year. Not just because I think they're that talented. They're also a really fun team to like.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They're sort of the hot team this year, and with good reason. Love the acquisitions they made this offseason. Robbie Ray, Jesse Winker, and Eugenio Suarez, I think, are great pieces for them to add. In Houston, you're asking a lot out of 39-year-old Justin Verlander. And I'll defend Justin Verlander. I think he's going to be close to what he was. All reports are that he looks like Justin Verlander, and he did in his first spring training start. He looked great. He looked like the Verlander of old. He's a 39-year-old coming off of a major arm surgery.
Yeah, who hasn't pitched in 2 years. Like, I'm with you. I have concerns about Verlander too, but it's that lineup.
The lineup's still great.
Like, I know that after, and like we talked about this, I think last week or the week before, that really their rotation after Verlander isn't much to get excited about.
I mean, I like Framber Valdez and
there's talent.
McCurdy.
Yeah, there's talent, but it's not like, Verlander and Greinke. It's like, where there were at least two guys up top, and then a smaller drop off.
Yeah.
Now it's just like Verlander, Valdez, off a cliff.
Yeah.
You could Jake Odorizzi, no. Urquidy, maybe.
I like Jose Urquidy. Yeah, and Luis Garcia too, yeah.
Christian Javier, they have young arms, but they're unproven. They're not tested.
Mm-hmm.
But that lineup, that's the only reason, because when you've got Yordan Alvarez, I can't pick against you.
Yeah, and the weird thing with the Astros is, I've always been a big Michael Brantley fan, guys, as professional of a hitter as it gets.
Oh, yeah.
And Yordan Alvarez, also big fan, huge power, guy's a stud. They both should be serving the same role at this point in their careers. Like, Yordan Alvarez is not a good outfielder. I know he's young, but he's not a good defensive outfielder.
No.
Michael Brantley shouldn't be in left field anymore either. At this point in his career, he's best served to being a full-time DH. So that worries me a little bit that you're going to have one of them in the outfield every day. Kyle Tucker, I think, is a stud, but then is he going to play center? Is that worries?
No. I would put Tucker in right, and I'd put another great name, Chas McCormick. I'd make him the center fielder.
And Chas McCormick, I mean, that's I think their outfield, but
I'm looking at it not so much as from an offensive output. I figure they have enough offense. They just need someone who can catch the ball.
Yeah.
And I think McCormick can do that.
Yeah, he can catch the ball. Bregman's a stud. Altuve's Altuve. Yuli Gurriel is another one where he might be best served to be a DH at this point in his career too. So there's three guys that you have that, might be best as a DH right now. Mm-hmm. And so the lineup is good, but I don't know. I'm not as high on the Astros as a lot of people. The pitching really does worry me. And Ryan Presley is a stud at the back end of the bullpen, but it seems like a very piecemeal pitching staff this year. That's why I'm so high on the Mariners, because I think their staff is just so much better, more well constructed, and it's just so much talent on this team. We're going to see a lot of Julio Rodriguez and Jared Kelenic this year.
Yes, we are.
We're going to see a healthy Kyle Lewis again, which people forget the last time Kyle Lewis was healthy, he won Rookie of the Year.
It's just been a while.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years, but he did win Rookie of the Year. The guy is very good. We're going to see Mitch Haniger healthy again, which he was very good again last year. I really like Evan White. We'll see how much playing time he gets, but I think that's a really good bat if he can put it all together. I mentioned Winker. I mentioned Suarez. This is just a really well-constructed team, in my opinion. And
no, it is. It is. You're right. The more I'm looking at it, I made my pick and I'm sticking with it. But if Seattle won this, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. So I'm very high on the Mariners. I've got Astros too. Then I have the Angels, because the Angels can't pitch. The Angels haven't been able to pitch for 20 years.
Yeah, they haven't been able to pitch, the entirety of Trout's career.
Yeah. And as much as I want to say Mike Trout gets back to the postseason this year and Shohei Ohtani's going to win the Cy Young, blah, 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 Ohtani's going to give you, 150 innings max? And they'll probably be great innings because he's an absolute stud. But it's not going to be enough. The Angels just don't have enough pitching to compete, in my opinion. The lineup's great. I think Anthony Rendon's going to have a big bounce back year. He's on my watch list for comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I mean, they need him to be Anthony Rendon.
But, what is Justin Upton at this point? And I love Jay Up, but what is he? He's a decent power bat that can hit sixth.
Yeah, he went yard twice today, so if you buy into spring training stuff.
Which Lord knows I always do. That tells me that the Rangers are going to be much better than the Dodgers this year.
Well,
because the Rangers beat the shit out of the Dodgers today. Or they were beating the shit out of them. I haven't seen the end of the game. But so the Angels, whatever, I think the Rangers finished fourth, and I think the Athletics finished fifth.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's no question with the A's finishing fifth. I mean, they've destroyed that team. They're still looking to move Montes and Manaea.
Mm-hmm.
The Rangers, same thing with it's been like a running theme so far. Love the offense. Pitching kind of sucks.
Yep.
And that's where I am with the Rangers. I like Dane Dunning more than most.
I like Dunning. I like Gray too.
I like John Gray too, and I'm excited to see what he can do outside of Coors.
It kind of sucks that he went to another launching pad, but
yeah, I mean, it's not quite the launching pad it used to be, but it's still a launching pad. But I mean, Martin Perez, Taylor Hearn, AJ Alexi, I'll pass.
Is Colby Allard still there? He was going to be something, and then
he's the long man.
Yeah,
like they're good moves. They'll be fun to watch, but again, just not enough pitching. And I mean, I like the Seattle pick. I really got to keep going back to that. I really do like the Seattle pick.
I love the Mariners this year. The Mariners this year might be my team that isn't the Red Sox. There's always one team that I root for over the course of a year that isn't the Red Sox or the Giants, because my dad's a Giants fan. I think it's the Mariners this year. I think they're the team I'm really pulling for to make the playoffs for the first time in 21 years.
Well, for me in the AL, I mean, if it's not the Yankees, I'm pulling for the Royals.
Yeah, and that's fair.
Because we didn't even mention, the best prospect in baseball, Bobby Witt Jr.
Witt.
He's going to be in that lineup. They're going to do some damage. They're going to piss a lot of people off.
Oh, for sure. They're going to be a great spoiler at the end of the year.
Yeah, and
if they're not, competing for a wild card spot at the end of the year, Royals are going to be one of the last teams anyone wants to face in the middle of a playoff hunt.
Yeah, and even if they don't make it this year, this could be the beginning of.
They remind me of the Tigers last year.
Yeah, or the Astros 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Where it's you just need these young guys to take kind of one more step forward, particularly the young arms. Because I mean they've got enough veteran guys in that lineup.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be pushovers. Man, the AL is it's Toronto's to lose, right?
Yes, I think the Blue Jays are the favorite in this league this year. Do you want to do we can say who we have in the playoffs for each league and then make a World Series pick for the league and then jump over to the National League, or do you want to do playoff picks after?
No, let's do playoff picks after, so this way
we
don't, because we may forget who we said. Because I don't know about you, but I've changed the stuff I wrote down about 7 times in the 39 minutes that we've been on the air. So what I haven't changed, though, is my predictions for the NL East. It's the Braves, it's the Mets, it's the Phillies, it's the Marlins, and it's the Nationals.
Yeah, I think Fangraphs got this one right.
I haven't even looked. I know it's been up. I haven't even been looking at it. I said the Fangraphs projections, so I may be just repeating what they have, but it's not intentional.
We've been a little different for the most part.
Yeah. Okay. Good. But yeah, I mean, even losing Freddie Freeman, you replaced him with a younger Freddie Freeman in Matt Olson.
Yeah.
It's kind of an upgrade, not really.
The average isn't going to be as high, but the on base is there, the power is there. He's a better defender.
Yeah.
It's you replaced Freddie Freeman with Freddie Freeman 7 years ago, and that's never a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, what was the one big change that they had outside of Freeman? No Jorge Soler.
Mhm.
So you replaced him with Alex Dickerson. Yeah, okay, it's a downgrade. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
Dickerson. He's fine. Yeah, he's not Soler, but that rotation is just real good.
Mhm.
It's young. It's good. You know, outside of Charlie Morton, it's young.
Yeah.
Then Max Fried, Ian Anderson, who I think is an absolute stud.
He's the one people are sleeping on, in my opinion. You know,
I don't
Ian
know how.
Anderson,
Like, did they not watch what he did last year?
yeah, which, you know, he was hurt for a bit of last year, and, you know, he didn't like.
Yeah,
You
but when he was healthy, he was good.
The guy is nasty. I love Ian Anderson. And he shares a name with the lead singer of Jethro Tull.
That he
I mean,
does.
come on. How do you
That
not love the guy?
Yeah, but I mean, he made 24 starts last year, 3.58 ERA. Uh, he's a good pitcher,
He's a
and
really good pitcher.
and he's just going to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
And Max Fried, his ERA was like, what, 3 even pretty much last year?
Max Fried had 3.04.
Yeah. If you take out the month of April, it was 2.4 because he was pitching hurt in April.
Yeah. So
And he got healthy and he became one of the best pitchers in the National League.
one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now, if the Braves called the Yankees and were like, "We'll give you Max Fried," okay,
Now,
take whoever you want.
yeah, we'll give you a blank list and you can just write down who you want to get back.
I'll take Fried. I'll take Anderson. Like either one of
Mhm.
them. Be an upgrade over. You know, we'll give you Garrett Cole for him.
Yeah.
You take that contract. We don't want it.
You take a guy that as soon as the calendar hits September, just completely forgets how to pitch.
Well, no, I thought he forgot how to pitch once they took away his sticky stuff.
Yeah, but he had some good starts in like the middle of the year, and then
Yeah,
crunch
that's true.
time. Crunch time came around, and he shit the bed again.
Yeah, I'm being unfair. I mean, the Mets are going to be no joke.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
Mets are good.
the Mets probably had the best offseason of any team in baseball.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, they had Starling Marte, Eduardo Escobar, Mark Canha, Max Scherzer, Chris Bassett, Adam Ottavino. Like they added some pieces. Even guys that they had on non-roster invites, who I think are probably going to be a factor. Chasen Shreve and Alex Claudio in the bullpen.
Yep.
Like, you know, this team, I just don't think they can. I just don't see them beating out Atlanta.
I don't either. It's going to be close. This is going to be a really close race for first in the East, in my opinion. Atlanta last year became the second team ever to have all 4 infielders hit 25 home runs.
Yeah, and it's going to happen again.
And it's going to happen again. Like Austin Riley's an absolute stud. Ozzie Albies great. Dansby Swanson really good. Like he hasn't quite lived up to the hype of being the number 1 overall pick.
No.
He's a really good player. Great defensive shortstop. Had his best year at the plate last year. Like, I think the best, we haven't quite seen the best of Dansby Swanson yet. I think he might just be putting it all together. And the peak might not be as long as people expected, but I think there's a couple more really good years out of Dansby. And you're going to have Acuna for a full year, hopefully.
Yeah, let's not forget the Braves won it all without arguably the best player in baseball.
Yeah. And so you're going to have Acuna for a full year. Marcell Ozuna already served a suspension, apparently, despite the fact he was on the commissioner's exempt list. I guess you can just say that he was serving his suspension while on that list, which I didn't know.
Look, you know what? He didn't play, so as far as I'm concerned, he was suspended.
Yeah.
I'm not making excuses for the guy. I think he's a piece of shit.
Absolutely.
But, you know, like if that's what they want to rule, that's what they want to rule. I'm not going to lose my mind about it.
And there's no denying the talent. I mean,
oh no,
very good middle of the order bat.
Yeah.
And then why am I blanking on their third outfielder?
Eddie Rosario.
Eddie Rosario, yes, thank you. He's a really solid piece. Like And then, they'll do a little piecemealing behind the plate between Darnold and William Contreras. He'll get some looks, I believe. And
that's fine. They also have Manny Pena, who they sniped from Milwaukee.
oh, I forgot about that. Pena's a decent little piece
Yeah,
too.
actually, I don't even know. Do they? Okay, they do still have Contreras. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I would have preferred if they kept Christian Pache. If I'm being honest with you, I think he's a really good player, and they traded him to Oakland in the Matt Olson deal. But hey, you're getting Matt Olson, so
Yeah, I mean, you have Acuna as your center fielder,
Yeah.
so it's it
and
was
then
you could trade from that. That
Yeah.
was some depth you could move from.
and Drew Waters will probably be the fourth outfielder, another young guy. that
Yeah, I would
really
imagine
like.
so. I would imagine so. Either that, or they'll just roll a Guillermo Heredia again. 'Cause
Oh,
they did
yeah.
that last year. Yeah, and there's another guy who was supposed to be a thing, and he wasn't quite that thing, but he's
Mm,
carved out a nice career for himself.
yeah.
They also, I did not realize this. They did this before the end of the year last year. I don't know how I missed it. One of the best names in baseball. He's not a very good player. Chadwick Trump.
Oh yeah.
Love that name. Like,
That's a great name.
you're either like, with that kind of a name, you're either like an offensive lineman,
Mhm.
a baseball player, or like you're like a professional rodeo person.
Or a bouncer. I feel like a bouncer would be named Chadwick Trump.
Yeah, a bouncer, or you're like, like one of those really like hoity-toity yacht club members
Yeah.
who's like, oh, I have dirt under my fingernails.
if he had a suffix, if it was like Chadwick Trump the third,
Yeah,
then he's automatically
it has to be numbers. It couldn't be like junior.
junior. No.
Yeah, it has to be numerical. Absolutely.
Hello, I'm Chadwick Trump the fourth. Yes, quite.
Yeah, exactly.
A pleasure. It's all mine.
It's like you watch Family Guy, right?
Yes, I do.
Who is the fucking British dude with the big lower jaw?
Yeah,
Mr. Bottom Tooth.
bottom.
Like,
yeah.
that's Chadwick Trump.
Yeah, that's
I have no
Chadwick
idea what
Trump.
the guy looks like. I have no idea where he's from. I would imagine he's not British, but I envision him as that, which would make it very interesting to see a man with that kind of a jaw put a catcher's mask on, because I don't think it would quite fit.
There he is.
Yeah, I had a completely different vision of Chadwick Trump.
No, Chadwick Trump, I'm just imagine that guy was born 65 years old. It's like how actors back in the 60s were born, they turned 50, and then they died. Like you couldn't tell if Humphrey Bogart was 25 or 65 for most of his career.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith.
Chris Rock looked like an older version of Chris Rock. Will Smith looked like he just stepped out of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the man doesn't age.
Yeah.
It's amazing. He does have a pretty mean right hand, though. Give you that.
The guy did play Muhammad Ali in a movie.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Nominated for an Oscar for it. That's
right. He did, and he didn't win. He must have been really upset. Probably didn't smack the people at that one. All right, I'm done. No more Will Smith crap. Long live Chris Rock. The Phillies don't think they have the pitching to contend with the Mets. I don't think they have the pitching to contend with the Braves. But they certainly have the bats. That lineup is filthy.
Yeah, and
Kyle Schwarber, Real Muto, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, Rhys Hoskins, Gene Segura is your number 6. I mean, the guy was a legitimate leadoff hitter last year. Didi 7. Okay, 8 and 9. Yeah, okay, little weak. Matt Vierling and Bryson Stott.
Did you mention Real Muto?
Yes.
Oh, I missed it.
Yeah, no. Schwarber, Real Muto, Harper.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Castellanos, Hoskins, Segura, Didi. But yeah, that top 7 is formidable. It's going to cause a lot of problems.
The only thing is, they will not over under average 2.5 errors per game for the Phillies this year. It might be the worst defense I've ever seen.
over just because Castellanos is not good in the outfield.
There are going to be days where it's Schwarber in left, Harper in center, and Castellanos in right.
Mhm. Yeah, no, there will be.
That's terrible.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Segura and Didi are not the defenders that they used to be.
Although, did
Hoskins is
you see the double play that
that was
Didi turned?
phenomenal.
I mean, boy, you can't say he's not the defender he used to be. And after watching that,
No, that was a great play, but a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
all right, I mean, look, he's the man's royalty. How about show a little respect on his name?
He is knighted. It
He
is
is.
Sir Didi
It
Gregorius.
is Sir Didi Gregorius. So mind your P's and Q's.
But yeah, and you didn't even mention Alec Boehm, who I really like.
I like Alec Boehm too. I forgot
Yeah.
about Alec Boehm.
But yeah, this team is going to mash. The top two in the rotation's great. Wheeler and Nola is a very good one too.
Oh yeah, and I like Rango Suarez a lot.
Yeah, and Ranger Suarez is sort of a weird anomaly where it's just like, yeah, I'll be in the bullpen, I'll be in the rotation, I'll have a 1.5 ERA in each, whatever. And so yeah, I like him. My buddy calls him Max or Dollar Store Max Fried, because it's pretty much what he is. But they're gonna hit so many home runs. This team might compete with the Twins total from a couple years ago when they broke the home run record.
But that's just it. Like it's going to be slugfests with this team.
Yeah,
and I just don't know if they have enough. I mean, I'll give them credit. They knew the bullpen sucked, and they went out and they added a lot of pieces. Problem is, I don't think a lot of these pieces are all that great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Corey Knebel is the closer. It's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yuri's Familia, he's fine. Brad Hand, fine. But it's still not, okay, they got Nick Nelson, who they traded for from the Yankees. Nick Nelson's mediocre at best.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Norwood, mediocre at best. And you add those to the guys that they already had in place, and it's just like, it's better. Still not great, though.
And that back three of the bullpen is great 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's the problem.
Yeah, Corey Knebel, Jose Alvarado, and Familia, for sure. And Brad Hand.
Yeah. All four of those guys 4 years ago, if you said that was the back end of someone's bullpen, I would say they were World Series contender.
Mm-hmm.
And Knebel was really good last year with the Dodgers. And, Hand really had a not good year last year, but he's still a solid, bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, whenever a guy like that has a bad year, like, I'll give him another year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Before I'm just like, all right, either something's wrong or you're washed.
Yeah, but right now it's just, and this is one of those divisions. Every team in this division can hit. The lineup isn't an issue in this, like, for any team in this division, in my opinion. Even the Marlins, which I know you're not as high on the Marlins as I am. I think that team is going to hit. Avisail Garcia, Jazz Chisholm, Jesus Aguilar is still playing first base. That guy can hit. They're going to hit. They're going to hit home runs. And in a division where every team has lineups like these teams, you need the pitching to neutralize those lineups, which is why I think that the Phillies are going to be good. I don't think the Phillies are going to be a below 500 team. I think they're an 85 win team probably, which, hey, respectable, that will compete for a wild card spot. But I just don't think they have what it takes to close it out. Then the Marlins and the Nationals. I don't think the Nationals are going to be as bad as Fangraphs does. I think this is a fairly even division top to bottom. I like the Nationals pitching more than a lot of people do. And I like that lineup. I mean, you have Juan Soto. Juan Soto is the best hitter in baseball.
Look, the lineup's phenomenal. But I mean, before we skip over Miami or finish up with Miami, that rotation has the potential to be the best rotation in baseball.
Oh, for sure.
It's not there 100%. Yet, but it's got the potential.
If Sixto Sanchez were fully healthy.
That's the reason I have them fourth.
Yeah.
Because there's no Sixto.
Yeah, if Sixto was fully healthy, I would say going into the year, it's a top 5 rotation in baseball.
Yeah, and for that, I would probably put them third. I still don't think I put them ahead of the Mets, but they're close. But yeah, after one, I mean, and I know that they got Nelson Cruz, but like Soto and Cruz can't do it alone.
I like Keibert Ruiz. I think Keyboom's still got something. He's young. He hasn't really proven it yet, but the guy was a top prospect for a reason. Josh Bell will hit you 25 home runs. There's guys in the lineup I like. I don't think it's going to be a great lineup, but it's automatically a good lineup when you have Juan Soto.
Absolutely. And maybe it's the fact that Josh Bell has let me down so many times that I'm down on this team just because he's there. Because I thought Josh Bell was going to be an absolute monster with Washington. I was like, oh, he's out of Pittsburgh. I'm like, forget it.
Yeah.
Like, now Josh Bell is really going to be unleashed. And he was just kind of like, he had 2 weeks where he was awesome. And then he was just like, I'm done.
That's what Josh Bell does.
I know, but I was hoping it was going to change.
Yeah.
And Victor Robles, I was absolutely over the moon about. And then he just didn't hit for average. And I was like, yes, maybe you're not as good as I thought you were.
He doesn't walk as much as he should, too, for someone with that speed. And
yeah, and then like they're counting on Anibal Sanchez in the rotation. I mean, stop. You can't call yourself even a fringe contender when you have Anibal Sanchez, who I believe led up. I'm going to see if I can find this. I don't remember if it was yesterday. I think it was today, or was it yesterday? I think he led up like 10 runs in an inning in the third, or
yeah, boy,
something like that. It was must have been yesterday. I think they got absolutely trounced. Yes, by the Cardinals, 29-8.
Yeah, that's right. Because I remembered seeing the box score for that.
Yes, Anibal Sanchez, 4 innings, 12 hits, 10 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 home run. He let up 10 earned runs and 12 hits, and only one of them went out of the yard.
Most impressive part.
Yeah, but I don't know who it's impressive for. The Cardinals, or the fact that Sanchez, like, if he was just like, yeah, I just didn't have it. I haven't pitched in like 2 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I gave up like 7 home runs. I'd be like, okay, fine. I got it. But like, there was no talk of that. It was just, we're going to throw this guy out there in a meaningless game, and he's going to show that he has nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't see this team doing much anything outside of Soto.
Yeah, I don't think they're much better than the 71 win projection from Fangraphs. I think they're 75, 76, like around there, but they're another team I wouldn't want to see late in the season strictly because I think that lineup can do damage.
Yeah, I mean, here's my question: if they're if they are what we think they are, are they looking to move Cruz at the deadline?
If he's got anything left.
Yeah, because I don't know what Cruz they're getting either.
Yeah, I mean, Cruz, once he went to Tampa Bay, was
not good.
Not good.
No.
And the guy's what, like 41?
Yes. 40, yeah, 41. I think he turns 42 this year.
Yeah. So love Nelson Cruz, and he's put together one hell of a career for himself. Is he what, a 25 home run guy at this point? Which is still a valuable piece.
Hitting behind Soto, I mean, he should walk into like an extra 5 home runs.
Yeah.
Just because teams are going to pitch around Soto. Yeah, I mean,
Juan Soto might not see a strike until the middle of May.
I think it was Jeff Passan in his. I think he did a prediction piece yesterday or the day before.
Did.
And I think that was one of his predictions, was that Soto was going to have like an on-base percentage over 500.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I could see it because nobody's going to want to pitch to him.
Yeah,
they'd rather take their chances with Cruz. Or Josh Bell or Keibert Ruiz. It's So Atlanta and the Mets, those are the 2 teams that are going to battle for this division. I think it's a 1-team race in the Central. I think it's Milwaukee, and
I think it's St. Louis.
I am every year I go with St. Louis, and every year the
Mhm.
Cardinals typically prove me right. But that rotation scares the living shit out of me.
I
We've
can
said
see
that
why.
pitching is gonna. We've said pitching is like iffy for other teams.
Mhm.
I think this rotation is gonna be just ugly.
I understand that, but it's the Cardinals. That's my only justification because they always turn nothing into something.
Oh
I don't
no,
know what's in
absolutely.
the water in St. Louis. I don't know what it is. They will get one good year out of anybody. And
But it's not a matter. It's not a matter of whether or not they have the talent because they
mhm,
do. It's in this rotation. It's like, can any of these guys stay healthy?
yeah,
You're relying on a 41-year-old Adam Wainwright,
mhm,
Miles Mikolas, who is constantly hurt. They have Jack Flaherty hurt right now.
yeah,
They've got, Reyes is hurt right now, and they were talking about having Alex Reyes actually get into the rotation. And then after that, Steven Matz. I know you like Steven Matz.
I do.
I mean, Steven Matz is fine. He's a good number 3 on this team, but like he can't do it alone.
Mhm,
Nobody can tell me what you're going to get out of Wayne, right? Dakota Hudson, loved him as a reliever. Think he's mediocre as a starter. Drew Verhagen, uh, no thank you. And the most exciting thing outside of this offense, which is crazy, is the fact that Pujols is back.
yeah,
As it
and
should be.
as it should be. We've been saying that for weeks, months even at this point.
Yeah.
Uh, it's one of those things. Every prediction I've made so far is based on roster construction, like actual statistics. I just have a feeling. It's Wainwright, Yachty, and Pujols' last year, and they're all playing together back in St. Louis.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that.
They're going to win 90 games.
Damn it, Mark.
Like that's it. Like it's one of
You're
those
no,
things.
you're absolutely right.
I can't pick against the Cardinals this year. I just
No,
can't do it.
no,
I
you're
like
right.
I recently
Son of a
this
bitch.
past weekend, a friend of mine was like, "Hey, I want to go to Turning Stone and place a bet on the World Series." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go place a futures on the World Series with you." And so I went, and I'll reveal the team I have later when we do that. But the team I was seriously debating betting was the Cardinals because it's just going to be one of those things. Baseball is the top sport for this shit. Like this stuff always happens in baseball.
No, that absolutely does.
And so those three guys all going out together in St. Louis at the same time, there's no way they don't win 90 games. Albert Pujols might hit 25 home runs just to be like, "Hey, I'm Albert Pujols. Remember this?"
Yep. No, I mean, yeah, I can't believe it didn't dawn on me that this is going to be it for the three of them. And they're all
Yeah.
going to walk off the field together.
Mhm.
And like shit. I mean, at this point, look, if you're in a state with a legal book, folks, go throw fucking $5 on the Cardinals to win it all.
Yeah. I really think it's like, it's just, don't put $150 on them, but just throw a little something on the Cardinals. I feel like you have to. I'm going to. Like, I've already got my World Series bet placed. I'll throw 5 on the Cardinals. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and
Like,
another name. Talk about great names in baseball. Again, I forgot that he was on this team. Lars Nootbaar.
oh, love Lars Nootbaar.
I mean, give me that candy bar.
Yeah.
I will buy it. If he does not have a deal for a candy bar in St. Louis, like everyone involved with his career should be fired.
Just Mars. Like Mars Candy Company. Make a Lars bar.
Any candy company. It doesn't matter. Mars, whoever.
Yeah.
Jimmy's chocolate shop in downtown St. Louis. Like whoever you are, get this man a candy bar. The
There is
Lars
a
bar. Mark just named it for you.
Yeah, there is a great candy shop in downtown St. Louis, and I can't think of the name of it. But when I was out there a couple years ago, I stopped. They had like homemade candy, fudge, fantastic.
I mean, if he's not doing commercials for them, and
Yeah.
and then people are seriously missing.
It's like
out 'cause-
it's right next to Busch Stadium too. Like I went there right after my tour of Busch Stadium and I saw it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna stop in here and get some fudge.
when we're done with this, I'm gonna have to text my friend in Missouri and ask him if that's the case. Be like, yeah, is this a thing? And if so, can you overnight me one or a box?
But yeah, if he doesn't have an endorsement deal with them, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But that's
I-
the only reason I'm picking St. Louis, and the fact I don't think the Brewers lineup is very good.
Yeah, I mean,
We didn't even mention Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, or Harrison Bader.
who cares about them? They're all just names.
They're all very good baseball players.
Yeah, no, look, that lineup is very good. It's always very good.
Mhm.
You know, the other, I will say, one thing that kind of made me go, with this team, aside from the pitching, is the fact that they just got rid of Mike Schilt like that. Like,
Yeah, that was very
I
strange.
thought he was a really good manager. I thought
I
he did a
did
good
too.
job with them. Didn't understand what happened there. But yeah, I mean, the lineup is great. You know, but again, like Goldschmidt's getting older. You know, Pujols is old. Molina's up there. We know he can't play every day.
Mhm.
You know, like Harrison Bader is. We've been waiting. You know, Harrison Bader was supposed to be the next big thing. Dylan Carlson supposed to be the next big thing. They've both shown bits and pieces. They've
Carlson,
had
I think it's
flashes.
too early to say anything. You know, Carlson, it's only been what, a year and a half?
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But Bader's been around for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. And
You know?
his defense always came first anyway.
Yeah,
And the
but I
bat
just
did take a step forward last year.
yeah, they have they have a good lineup. I
Mhm.
just, for me with Milwaukee, the reason I had picked them was that pitching.
Oh, the pitching's phenomenal.
You know, and okay, I get it that after Burns and Woodruff, the rotation, you look at it, and if you're not like a real baseball fan, you might be like, Freddie Peralta, Adrian Hauser, Eric Lauer. I've never heard of these guys.
Filthy. All three of them.
Let's relax with the filthy and Eric Lauer.
Oh, well, he's got that huge curveball that I
Yeah, he
love.
does. But I mean,
Yeah.
you know, the words have meaning.
Yeah.
Filthy, you know, Jacob DeGrom is filthy.
I'm a sucker for anyone that throws like a 69-mile-an-hour curveball that breaks 3.5 feet. I automatically think you're one of the best pitchers in baseball. I'm just like, look at that thing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, no, look, he's good. I to me, filthy means like you're an elite arm, and
Yeah.
I don't think he is. I don't think Hauser is. I don't think Peralta is. I think they're all good. I don't think, you know.
I think Peralta's really good.
I'll tell you
don't
this,
think
I
what
would
we
take-
saw last year was a fluke.
Look, much like I said with Atlanta, like if Milwaukee called the Yankees and were like, listen, we want X and you can pick from Peralta, Hauser, or Lauer, I'd be like, yes, please.
Mhm.
Like, I'll take any of them because they're
Yeah.
good. But it's that bullpen. It's Josh Hader. It's Devin Williams. It's Brad Boxberger. Like, these guys legitimately only have to throw 4 innings.
Mhm.
And then the bullpen can eat it up because they've got guys like Brent Suter, who was a starter for Milwaukee, just sitting there to eat up 3 innings.
Yeah.
You know, like Luis Perdomo, who was at one point an actual prospect.
Yeah.
You know, like they've got Jose Urena. I forgot they had him. Aaron Ashby, who was one of their top starting pitching prospects. Actually, he was their top pitching prospect this year.
Mhm.
He projects to be a middle reliever for them.
Yeah.
Like that, and with this division being such crap outside of St. Louis and Milwaukee, like that's why I had Milwaukee. It's not so much about the lineup; it's about I think they can keep other teams from scoring runs, and they'll score just enough. I know you're high on McCutchen being in Milwaukee.
Well, just strictly for I love Andrew McCutchen. I don't know what he's got left in the tank, but you know, it's going to again, I said it earlier, one of the more likable teams in baseball.
Oh, for sure. And you know, they basically swapped Avisail Garcia for Hunter Renfroe.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I love Hunter Renfroe. I didn't want the Red Sox to get rid of him as much as I love JBJ, and I'm happy he's back in Boston. But yeah, Renfroe's a good piece. I personally think Willie Adames played over his head in Milwaukee last year. I don't
I
think
do too.
I think he's a solid player, but I think like people are talking about him as like a 3rd round fantasy pick this year. And I'm like,
You
Willie
can take him.
Adames?
Like I had Willie Adames last year. It was because I picked him off of waivers.
Mhm.
You know, like I don't plan on drafting him. Like if it's a 23rd round and he's there,
Yeah.
maybe.
But
But you know, I
people are
wouldn't. If you're expecting a repeat of that, I think you're setting yourself up for major disappointment.
and one of the things is his numbers outside of Tampa Bay have always been significantly better. He claims he just couldn't see at the drop, which we'll see what he does this year. But I think it was a little. He was playing over his head.
I agree, and
I
it all comes down to whether Yelich can stay healthy, right? Like I
and
mean, if
that's
Yelich's
the big
back
thing.
if his back starts to go out again,
Yeah.
then this team is going to be in some trouble.
Yeah. And yeah, if Yelich stays healthy, if you said to me, Yelich is guaranteed to play 145 games, who do you like, the Brewers or the Cardinals? I would say the Brewers because of the pitching. I don't think Yelich backs are so tricky. They're so tricky for athletes.
I watched it destroy John Mattingly's career. So
yeah, I mean Mattingly, but even like Larry Bird's career ended because of a bad back.
Yeah, look at JD Martinez. He can only play a handful of games a week because of his back.
Yeah, it takes the best athletes and ruins them.
Yeah, because people forget that, like, they look at baseball and they're like, all right, how hard is it? Like, you take a piece of wood
on
and
your
swing
back.
It. But like, it's not a natural movement.
No,
like
nothing
swinging a bat, pitching throwing a baseball. Like, yeah, it fucks with your back.
And that's why, nothing about baseball is a natural movement. That's why so many pitchers have arm surgeries, is because the natural way to throw a ball for a human body is underhand. Like, that's the way that our bodies are designed, is you can throw something underhand without putting stress on it. And if you throw something overhand, it puts stress on your arm. That's why softball pitchers can throw every 2 days and they'll throw 140 pitches and their arm is fine.
It's true.
So nothing about it is natural movement, but swinging a bat on your back, all it is back movement. Like, the entire baseball swing is just you moving your back. So if you have a bad one, it's hard for me to say you're going to stay healthy and succeed, because it's just one of these days, he could be healthy as can be for the first month. One swing on May 5th might ruin the rest of his season.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's basically what happened last year.
Yeah.
It's just talent alone. I still think the Brewers have the edge, but it's going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. I'll give you that. I think the top of this division is going to be a close race. It'll be fun to watch. I don't think it's going to be so much fun in Chicago because I don't get what the Cubs are doing. I love Marcus Stroman.
Love
I'm a huge Marcus Stroman fan. I think if you're not following him on Twitter, you're missing out.
Great Twitter follow just for when he occasionally shit talks the Mets.
Yeah, I mean, he's a local kid. Like, he grew up on Long Island, so I've been a fan of his for a long time. Mm-hmm. But after Marcus Stroman and Kyle Hendricks, I've never understood. The man throws like 80 miles an hour, and he's just unhittable. Like, I don't get it, but
I've said it on the show before. One of my favorite pitchers in baseball, Kyle Hendricks.
He's one of the most boring pitchers in baseball.
I know, and that's great. Why I love it.
Yeah, he's very, very good.
He's Tim Duncan. It's just like, 14-foot bank shots, but they go in every single time.
Yep, that's a perfect comparison. He's the Tim Duncan of Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, after Stroman and Hendricks, and after Wilson Contreras and Seiya Suzuki, there's nothing here. Like, the Cubs have nothing.
Yeah.
They're going to be a bad team, yet I still have them finishing third.
Yeah,
which says very little about the other two teams in this division.
The Reds stink, and the Pirates stink even more.
The Reds stink on purpose, because the Reds just literally said, get rid of people who make money.
Yeah.
We can't trade Joey Votto because they'll burn the stadium down. Mm-hmm. So leave him alone. But everybody else that makes any money, see what you can get for them.
Get him the hell out of Dodge.
Get him the hell out of here. We're not going to talk to Nick Castellanos. We don't want him. This team is not going to. They'll hit home runs because they play in a bandbox.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like Tommy Pham. This is where remember Tommy Pham?
Yeah, I remember the year and a half where Tommy Pham was a thing.
Well, now he's going to try and be a thing in Cincinnati, along with Colin Moran.
Colin Moran's in Cincinnati now?
Yes, Colin Moran is in Cincinnati now.
Jeez. I was about to say at least they can watch Michael Lorenzen, but he's in Los Angeles now. He plays for the Angels.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But you can go to Cincinnati to watch Brandon Drury. He was another big offseason signing for them. Or maybe Hunter Strickland does something for you. Or Buck Farmer. Like this team is going to suck.
They're going to be
Donovan
so
Solano was probably their most interesting offseason addition, offensively at least, and he's hurt. They have no Luis Castillo to start the year.
Yep.
Because they gave away Sonny Gray and counting on Castillo, who promptly said, "Ow, my shoulder hurts." So they shut him down. Justin Dunn, who they traded for, when they gave Jesse Winker to the Mariners.
Yep.
He's hurt with the shoulder. Mike Minor, who they acquired in who did they? In the
Amir Garrett.
Yes, the Amir Garrett trade, which going back to Kansas City, I absolutely love that for Kansas City.
Oh, absolutely.
Love that. Amir Garrett is one of the most underrated relievers in baseball. The dude is a stud. But Mike Minor, that trade, guess what? His shoulder hurts too. So 3/5 of their starting rotation is dealing with shoulder issues. The only reason this team's not in last place is because Pittsburgh is actually trying to win and sucking at it. Because Ben Cherington, is he the GM there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's Ben Cherington.
Well, maybe it's time for Ben to go elsewhere. Maybe
It's
he should
time
go
for Ben to
find
get out of
Jerry
baseball.
and make some ice cream. Because you cannot make a baseball team. You've got Brian Hayes and Brian Reynolds and nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Like there's nothing here. Daniel Vogelback, the man who looks like a tight end or a linebacker in the NFL.
Country strong.
Not an athletic tight end, just a
No.
big lumbering blocking back or blocking end, is their leadoff hitter.
He's going to hit leadoff?
Yes, according to the projections at Roster Resource, Daniel Vogelback is leading off.
That's hilarious.
I mean,
I love Brian Reynolds. I love Brian Hayes. I will be shocked if Brian Reynolds is on this team come September.
No, there's no way. They've already they've been talking to San Diego about a deal for Reynolds for apparently months. I guess the talk started before the lockout. I mean, Anthony Alford is on this team as a platoon piece. Anthony Alford was supposed to be a thing for Toronto like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And the rotation is, oh, goodness. Jose Quintana, the ace. Jose Quintana.
He was a stud for the White Sox in 2009.
JT Brubaker, Zach Thompson, Bryce Wilson, Mitch Keller. I was high on Keller, but he hasn't shown me anything.
Yeah.
He's just looked bad. This team is just, if you go to a game in Pittsburgh, I assume you're there for the stadium, which is supposed to be beautiful.
It's phenomenal. I've been there. Excellent.
Because it sure as hell isn't to watch this team.
No. And they've got a Quaker Steak and Lube in there. It's great. I love PNC Park.
Here's the question. Does Pittsburgh win the fewest games this year? And if so, over under 62 wins.
Under.
I'll go under. I'll take that with you.
We're talking 2015 Astros.
Yeah, I think it could. I think it could be even worse.
Yeah, that's how bad I think this Pirates team is, and it sucks because, like I said, I think Brian Hayes and Brian Reynolds are absolute studs.
Yeah, like I feel so bad for the two of them because
Yeah.
they've got nothing.
Just
They're- they're-
imagine if they still had Austin Meadows and Tyler Glasnow and Jamison Tyone and Garrett Cole and everyone they've traded away for nothing.
yeah, it's not good. Like, I mean, you could have at least brought McCutcheon back. Give the fans a reason to show
Yeah.
up.
He can grow the dreads back out.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
he's you're gonna retire his number eventually.
mhm,
What you could have had your McCutcheon day today, this year.
yeah.
They're like, Cutch, one more year, we'll retire your number at the end. Okay,
Mhm.
cool. But there's nothing in Pittsburgh. It's gonna be like, oh,
An
feel bad
absolute
for
shit
Pittsburgh.
show.
Feel bad for Pittsburgh. Don't feel bad for the Dodgers. Never feel bad for LA. Even though, yes, the Angels are technically Los Angeles, but not really.
Yeah,
The
Anaheim.
Dodgers are winning that division.
Yep.
The Padres will finish second. The Giants third. Diamondbacks fourth, and the Rockies fifth.
I personally have the Giants second and the Padres third, but I agree with Diamondbacks Rockies.
The only reason I have San Diego above San Francisco is that at some point they're getting Tatis back.
Yeah, and that's fair. I don't know. I've just got a feeling about the Padres. They feel like the team that's going to continue to disappoint.
It's possible. I mean, I was high on their rotation, but it's got questions. Like there's after Darvish, there's no sure thing.
Yeah,
Joe Musgrove's great, but you don't know what you're getting with him. You don't know what Snell is showing up. You don't know what Mike Clevenger's showing up.
Clevenger's the big thing. I want to see how Clevenger looks. That's the biggest thing for me with the Padres. I think between them and the Giants, I like the Giants top of the rotation better. I'm so high on Logan Webb this year.
I was going to say probably both of our favorite young pitcher in baseball.
Yeah. And so I like the Giants top of the rotation better. That lineup did something last year that they've never done before, at least not since Barry Bonds was there, and that was hit home runs. Like,
But they lost a lot of it. They lost Chris Bryant. They lost,
even Bryant, though. Bryant didn't hit that many home runs in San Francisco. It was just depth. Like, there's a lot of guys on that team that have, 15 home run potential. And if just everyone can do that outside of Tommy La Stella, like that's a pretty good problem to have. Joey Bart's finally going to be the starting catcher this year.
I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, and obviously you would rather have Buster Posey, but I've been saying for a couple of years that Posey should have moved to first and Belt should have moved to left so Bart could catch.
No, I'm with you, but I also feel. I mean, the pressure on Bart's going to be unbearable.
Well, yeah,
because you're replacing a legend.
Yeah, you are legitimately replacing a franchise icon.
Yeah,
and that's really tough for Bart. But this is a guy who's dealt with a lot of pressure. He was the second overall pick. This is a guy that has dealt with pressure for a long time now, and I think Joey Bart's good. I think they've got a couple of young pieces that could come up throughout the year. I don't think the shortstop will. What's his name? It's like Luciano.
Yes.
I don't think Luciano will come up this year, but they've got a kid by the name of Hunter Bishop that they drafted in the first round a couple of years ago, who hasn't been great in the minor leagues, but he went to Arizona State and was an absolute stud. The guy was just phenomenal at Arizona State. He's 23, 24 years old now. I wouldn't be shocked if he got a cup of coffee at some point, because he's got legitimate power. He's a good defensive outfielder, which the outfield situation is a little tricky in San Francisco.
Yeah, and it's even trickier now that Lamont Wade Jr. is not going to start the year.
Yeah, he shouldn't be out that long.
Is he going to be ready for opening day?
I think he'll miss like a week.
Okay.
But
between him and then Longoria, who's out
Longoria's
like
out for
6 weeks.
Yeah.
They're not starting off on the right foot. And to be honest, I mean, when it comes to this division, it really doesn't matter. Because I mean, the Dodgers are winning this
Yeah, the
division,
Dodgers.
and it's not going to be particularly close. But I will give you this: the Giants, much like you said with the Cardinals, and much like you said with the Rays, like every year people will doubt them,
Mhm,
and every year they're there at the end.
mhm.
If they're not in, they're at the very least like right in the conversation
Yeah.
till the last day of the season. And I could see that with San Francisco, but the Dodgers are scary, man. The Dodgers are scary.
Oh, yeah.
Arizona, I mean, there's not much in Arizona. There's really not. I wish there was. I like them. I mean, I just don't see it with Arizona. It's not the way that I would like to see Bumgarner finish his career
Yeah.
on a crap team. But after Bumgarner, I mean, I don't think Merrill Kelly's any good. I don't think Luke Weaver's very good. Zach Gallen, I thought was going to be much better than he is.
I think Zach Gallen's good if he could stay healthy.
No, yeah, that's true. But I mean, he didn't look right when he came back from
Yeah.
injury. Mark Melanson, Melanson and Ian Kennedy, great veteran relievers, but problem is it's not going to be a lot of games to save in Arizona.
No.
In Colorado, I mean, it's yay, Chris Bryant. Can he pitch?
Can he play all 9 positions at once?
Yeah, because like after Herman Marquez, there's nothing in this rotation.
No.
I don't want to hear about Kyle Freeland. He's not good.
No.
Senzatello's not good. Austin Gomber's not good. Chad Cole wasn't good in Pittsburgh, and now he's going to a bandbox.
Yeah, certainly won't be better in Colorado.
Yeah, so but the Dodgers. I saw this posed. I think it was ESPN asked this the other day. Do the Dodgers have the best lineup of all time? I didn't even read it. My response was, can we wait for the season to start?
Yeah, but on paper, it's certainly in the conversation.
I mean, it could be. And then did you see on Twitter, what was it, last week or maybe the beginning of this week, the whole Cody Bellinger's been released nonsense?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh, that was going around for a day. Like random fake accounts were getting real accounts with the Dodgers have released Bellinger. And it's being reported.
Anyone who bought that's an idiot.
Well, some of the blue check marks that were retweeted it are known to be morons.
Mm-hmm. They got Nightingale, eh?
I cannot neither confirm nor deny that it was Mr. Nightingale or Mr. Bowden. Yeah, I mean, Mookie, they added Freddie Freeman to a lineup that didn't need Freddie Freeman.
No, didn't need him in the slightest.
Like, they lost Max Scherzer, and people are like, whatever.
Yeah.
They lost Scherzer, and nobody cares.
They lost a 3-time Cy Young winner who's still very good and was in this conversation for Cy Young again last year.
And literally nobody cares. Like, they replaced Scherzer with Andrew Heaney, who I know you hate.
Well, yeah, he stinks.
Well, me too. I hate him too.
But
and Tony Gonsolin's fine. Urias is great. Bueller's great. Kershaw, I mean, he's like, you couldn't have him in another uniform, and he's still good.
He's still. Clayton Kershaw is the number 3 starter on this team.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're talking about, like when Verlander had those couple of bad years in Detroit, and it was like, oh, does Justin Verlander still have it? Clayton Kershaw had his highest ERA ever last year. It was like 3.5. Like, outside of, I think, his rookie year, his ERA was over 4. But he had his highest ERA in over a decade last year, and it was like 3.5. And it's like, oh man, does Kershaw still have it? No, he's not going to go out there and strike out 300 guys with a 180 ERA anymore. Does he still have it? Yes, he's still very good.
Yeah, I mean, actually, not only did they lose Scherzer, we forget they lost Corey Seager.
They don't care.
Yeah, nobody cares. Like, they removed Corey Seager from this lineup, and ESPN's response was, "Is this the best lineup of all time?"
Yeah.
Like, it's sick. It's disgusting how much talent this team has.
Okay, Corey Seager's gone. What do? Oh, we take Trey Turner. We move him back to shortstop, and we have Mr. 40 home run Max Muncy, and he'll play second base every day.
You think he plays second every day? I think they make Muncy the full-time DH.
They could do that, and then they have Chris Taylor at second.
And I was going to say, I would, kind of rotate Chris Taylor and Gavin Lux at second.
And Oh man, what a terrible problem to have.
Only
We don't
because
know which.
Muncy, I mean, he every year he's got like one of those nagging injuries.
Yeah.
So like as a way to kind of preserve his body, I wouldn't completely leave him out of the field. But I think primarily I would try and roll him at DH more often than not.
But yeah, what a terrible problem to have. The
Yeah.
guy that hits 40 home runs, we got to move him to DH so the two guys that are going to hit 20 home runs, they can platoon at second base.
Yeah, and one of those guys is only 24 and is one of the most,
Former top prospect.
yeah, in the past couple years, like Gavin Lux was in the conversation for, one of the best prospects in baseball.
And oh yeah, AJ Pollock, who no one is talking about, hit like 27 home runs last year, and not a soul cared.
Nope, couldn't care less. Like really, does it matter what Cody Bellinger does?
No, not in the slightest. He could hit eighth for this team, and
he is going to hit eighth for this team.
Yeah. Like, and it's like, oh, okay. If Cody Bellinger, former MVP Cody Bellinger, it's like, oh, if he gives us anything as a 26-year-old or however old he is now, it's like, if he gives us anything, it's a bonus.
Yeah, I mean, I see the lineup going Mookie, Freddie, Turner, Muncy, Justin Turner, Will Smith, Chris Taylor, Bellinger, and Pollock.
AJ Pollock might be the best 9-hole hitter in the history of baseball.
Scott Brocious might have something to say about that, but he's close.
No, but like, what a ridiculous lineup.
Yeah,
you have a guy who won MVP 3 years ago hitting eighth.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. pretty disgusting.
A friend of mine said the other day he thinks the Dodgers break the Mariners win record. I don't think he's crazy.
I don't think that's crazy either. I really don't.
Like, it's nuts to say before a season. It's like, yeah, this team could win 117 games. I think they could.
Yeah, I mean, all things, as long as everyone's healthy, yeah. Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I haven't looked at their schedule. I don't know how many games they have against the Padres early in the year.
Yeah, I don't either, but just
like if they can get a lot of their games against the Padres in before Tatis comes back, I think that only improves their odds of breaking that record. Because Tatis scares the shit out of me if I'm a team that's not the Padres. So I want to play them without him as often as I can.
I will say their strength of schedule, like teams are playing, is only 490.
Oh boy, that just makes it even. Wow. Yeah, they could win 120 games this year.
Yeah, and that's not a crazy thing to say.
120 and 42. Jeez.
We might be like, and the thing is too, it's like then they don't win the World Series, and it's like, oh, okay. That's just how baseball is.
Yeah, and then people will be calling to Dave Roberts' job again. I don't think that's the thing. The Dodgers are going to do all this in spite of Dave Roberts, who I don't think is a good manager.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, like that's the crazy thing, is that they could set the record for most wins in a year, and it's going to have absolutely nothing to do with Dave Roberts.
Yeah, but the guy that still somehow doesn't know how to manage a bullpen properly.
It's unbelievable.
All right, so looking towards the playoffs.
Yeah.
Blue Jays, White Sox. I've got the Mariners. You've got the Astros as the division winners in the AL.
Yeah, Blue Jays, White Sox, Astros. Yes.
Who are your wild card teams in the American League?
So I've got the Yankees, I've got the Red Sox, and I've got the Mariners.
Okay. I've got the Yankees, the Red Sox, in whatever order, and the Tigers. I think the Tigers make the playoffs. Like I said, I'm not very high on the Astros this year. Just general disdain for the organization, I guess.
Right.
And I think the Tigers take a big step forward and make a wild card.
Yeah, the thing that I kind of I thought about Detroit, but maybe it's the fact that I happen to like Kansas City that kept me from doing it, and I just felt like I couldn't do Detroit and not Kansas City, and I don't think 3 teams are coming out of that division.
Oh God, no.
So that's why I went with Seattle. I could see Detroit though, for sure. At the end of the day, I don't think it matters. I think the Blue Jays are winning the AL.
I do as well. I think the
So,
Blue Jays are coming out of the American League.
Yeah, I think the Blue Jays are going to the World Series. National League, I would imagine that we're pretty chalk as far as division winners go. Dodgers, Cardinals, who you've made me switch because of your crazy conspiracy theory, and the Atlanta Braves.
Yes, those are my 3 division winners as well.
Who do you got in the wild card?
I've got the Mets, I've got the Giants, and I've sort of been waffling. It's hard for me to pick against the Brewers just for that staff, so I'll say the Brewers. But I've sort of been waffling on this one even since Monday. But I'll go Mets, Brewers, Giants.
Okay, I've got Mets, Padres, Brewers. I'm sorry, Mets, Brewers, Padres, and it's the Dodgers. I think they're coming out.
I think it's the Braves.
Really?
Yeah. I think the Dodgers are a better team. I think the Braves are the better managed team. And I don't.
I agree with that.
I don't think the talent difference is large enough for me to take the team that I think has the worst manager.
Okay.
I think the Braves are very, very talented. We just said they replaced Freddie Freeman with younger Freddie Freeman, and it's like, okay, cool. Like,
no, you're right. You're right.
And so I think that's the NLCS. I think Braves and Dodgers are going to play for the National League title. But I'll take the team that I think has the better manager.
Okay, that's fair enough. I'm going to stick with the Dodgers just because of that lineup. But if Atlanta won, I wouldn't be shocked. So my World Series would be Dodgers versus the Blue Jays. You would have the Braves versus the Blue Jays. Does Atlanta repeat?
No, I've got Toronto.
As do I. So the Toronto Blue Jays sweep the board. Vlad Jr. gets his first ring, the first of many. Vlad Jr. not only does he get a ring, as far as I'm concerned, he takes home an MVP award.
I couldn't agree more. He is my AL MVP as well. I had him in my preseason prediction last year. How we do it on Hot Stove is we do a winner, a dark horse, and a long shot. He was my dark horse last year. He finished second. We know he's got Triple Crown potential because he almost did it last year. And I think it was the only thing he could have done to not to take the MVP away from Shohei Ohtani. But yeah, I think Vladdy Jr. wins the MVP this year. I'll just mention it. Rafael Devers was my dark horse and Wander Franco is my long shot. I think Wander Franco, if he stays healthy, will be in the conversation. I think the guy is an absolute superstar. The discipline's there. Even if the power doesn't fully develop this year, he's going to hit like 45 doubles because the gap power will be there. So those are the 3 guys I'm looking at for MVP. National League MVP, who do you got?
All right. Well, I'll play along with the dark horse and the long shot.
Okay.
I got you. I got you. My dark horse, Jesse Winker, Seattle Mariners.
That's a good one as well.
My long shot, and this is totally because of my bias and to counter your Detroit love, Bobby Witt Jr.
I don't hate it. I really don't. That guy could come up and be an absolute superstar. So I don't hate that pick, those picks at all.
In the National League, oh boy, I haven't been able to settle on a guy. I've gone back and forth. The problem is, like, so going into this, I'm like, well, it's going to be somebody from the Dodgers, but then it's like, okay, Mookie, Freddie, Trey Turner, the 3 of them alone are going to split votes between each other. So it almost, to me, when you have that much talent and that many like legitimate contenders, to me, it feels like it's impossible to pick anybody from this team because they're just going to cancel each other out.
I picked Freddie Freeman personally.
So I'm not going there. I'm going to go Pete Alonso
Interesting.
because I think Alonso leads the majors in home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And I think voters are going to start to fall back in love with the long ball.
Okay, very interesting. My dark horse and long shot were Matt Olson was my dark horse. I think he could go out and win National League MVP this year.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if the Braves are as good as I think they're going to be. My long shot, he's going to play on a terrible team, but god damn it, he might hit 60 home runs. The guy I think leads the majors in home runs is Chris Bryant.
Interesting. That's true. Chris Bryant in cores, he could hit 60 home runs by the All-Star break.
Yeah, he's got that uppercut swing. He loves to hit the ball in the air. He's going to be hitting bombs at Coors Field. So that's like my one big bold prediction for this year is that Chris Bryant is going to lead the majors in home runs.
My dark horse is going to be Kyle Schwarber.
I love that pick. By the way, I meant to mention this earlier. On DraftKings, his over-under number for home runs is 30.5.
That's it?
Hammer it.
Yeah.
In that ballpark for a left-handed hitter?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's insane.
Do they expect him to play 90 games?
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Wow. And my long shot is Jazz Chisholm.
I love that.
I love Jazz Chisholm. I think he's so much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
As far as Cy Young goes, I mean, flip a coin. It's either DeGrom or Scherzer. But like the Dodgers, I feel like they're going to cancel each other out. But I still think it goes to DeGrom.
Yeah, and that's fair. I got to see DeGrom stay healthy. That's my biggest thing. Scherzer could absolutely go out and win it, but I've got Walker Buehler. I think all eyes are going to be on the Dodgers, and Walker Buehler is one of the best pitchers in baseball. So he's going to go out there. He's going to have a 2.5 ERA probably. He's going to strike out over a guy per inning. He's not going to walk a ton of guys. He's not going to give up much hard contact. Walker Buehler is a stud. I just think this is the year he's already broken out, but it seems like he still somehow gets overshadowed because Clayton Kershaw's in that rotation. And now that it's really his rotation, like Walker Buehler is the undisputed ace of that staff now, I think this is the year he goes out and wins a Cy Young.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, and Kershaw even talked about that the other day when they named Buehler the opening day starter.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, it's his rotation. It's his time.
Yeah.
He's like, I had my shot. Like, I'm very happy to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be the opening day starter. He's earned it.
Yeah.
So I like that pick a lot. Who's your long shot?
My dark horse is our favorite pitcher, Logan Webb.
Yes.
If he goes out there and wins a Cy Young this year, don't be that surprised. The guy's an absolute monster. My long shot is the same one I picked last year, and I'm going with him again. It's Joe Musgrove. I will die on this hill that Joe Musgrove is a great pitcher that has really shitty luck.
He does. He has really shitty luck.
One of these years, his luck is going to turn, and it's going to be like, wait a minute, Joe Musgrove had a 2.23 ERA. Where the hell did this come from? And I'm going to say, I told you so to everybody.
I mean, I like Musgrove a lot,
mm-hmm.
but it's just hard to get there.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on Logan Webb as the dark horse. My long shot is placed with the same team as my MVP long shot. It's Sandy Alcantara of the Miami Marlins.
Alcantara is a great pick.
He is so good, and the fact that he could be the ace of the St. Louis Cardinals is kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah. Just imagine if the Cardinals had Alcantara and Randy Arozarena right now. They'd be feeling pretty good.
It'd be a little bit of a different team. Little different. You want to do manager of the year, rookie of the year? I'm
We
out
gotta do
on.
AL Cy Young as well.
Oh yeah, AL Cy Young. That's right. There is another league.
Yeah, there's 2 leagues. Have
Damn
been
it.
for a long time.
Yeah. All right, who you got?
I've got Shane Bieber. I think if the guy's healthy, he's the best pitcher in the American League. And he proved that in the COVID season. He proved that before he got hurt last year. Last year, he was on pace to have his best year. He was striking out like 13 and a half guys per 9 innings. It was insane. The strikeout numbers he was putting out before he got hurt last year. He's 100% according to all reports. There is no pain, nothing. He's a full go. So if he stays healthy, I think Shane Bieber is the best pitcher in the AL.
It's hard to argue with that. I mean, Shane Bieber, when he's healthy, is an absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
My heart wants to go with Garrett Cole, but I will not go with Garrett Cole.
Fair.
I can't do it. He's a different pitcher without the sticky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's certainly not worth the contract that he got from the Yankees. But I can't do Bieber because I loathe what the Indians. I'm sorry, the Guardians have become.
The roller derby team, yes.
Yes, the roller derby team. So I'm going to go with Lance Lynn.
He's my dark horse. Lance Lynn, he throws 92% fastballs. And it's like, obviously he's not as great, but it's like Mariano. It's like, yeah, you know exactly what he's going to throw you. You can't hit it.
Yeah, you can try. I mean, but
Yeah.
you're not going to find any success.
You're going to get a 93-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. Good luck hitting it.
Yeah, my dark horse, he probably should be more of a long shot, but I'm making him a dark horse. It's Jose Berrios.
I don't think that's a long shot.
Well, I feel like people look at Berrios and they're like, this guy was supposed to be so great, and he was never quite that. He was really good with Minnesota, but he was never like. I think people looked at him and they were like, all right, he's the next Johan. And he's not Johan. He's a different pitcher. But I feel like with that rotation in Toronto, with a full year with that team behind him, I just feel like Berrios could take another step this year. And it may be the only step he ever takes.
Yeah.
This could be the peak of Berrios, and then we start to see the downswing of his career. Not saying he's going to fall off and be terrible, immediately, but this may be peak Jose Berrios this year. And then we see him start to kind of slide a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's my dark horse. My long shot, I don't know. I really don't know. Part of me wanted to say Marco Gonzalez with the Mariners. Only reason being, and this is not my official pick, but the only reason being is that if anyone was paying attention to Marco Gonzalez last year, he was legitimately 2 different pitchers.
Yeah.
Beginning of the season, he was awful. He forgot what made Marco Gonzalez so good. Marco Gonzalez, who could also be part of the Cardinals rotation because he was a St. Louis guy at one point. And once he remembered who he was and he stopped trying to blow the ball past people and he became ground ball pitcher again, he was really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. And I just can't get there because I don't know what we're getting from him this year.
Yeah.
So, you know what? Fuck it. Garrett Cole's my long shot. No, not Garrett Cole, because he can't be a long shot.
No.
Casey Mize.
There you go. That's a good one.
Needed a guy from a shitty team, a young guy.
I'll also go with a young guy, a guy that I think is going to take a big jump in his second year and really had a good year last year. That's Shane McClanahan.
Yeah, I thought about him.
With Logan Webb, same thing, big second year jump. That's what we see out of elite pitchers a lot of the time. So I could see Shane McClanahan taking that jump, and he is my long shot for Cy Young. I do have a rookie of the year pick for each league. It's fairly chalk, but we can talk about that.
It's all you. I haven't looked at prospects. I'm not.
I'm just going Bobby Witt and Keibert Ruiz.
Okay, fair enough. I'm with you on those.
Yeah, those are the 2 I picked.
I've legitimately done no research on prospects. like
Yeah.
I usually do because I just haven't had time. So, like outside of Bobby Witt Jr., outside of Adley Rutschman, Spencer Torkelson, Riley Green,
Mhm.
Hunter Green with Cincinnati, like guys that I'm already familiar with, like I know nothing.
Yeah. So like those are the two guys that I think Bobby Witt's pretty much a shoe-in to win
Yeah,
American League
no,
Rookie of the Year if
I
he
would agree. I would
if he
agree.
plays the majority of the season, which I think he will. And like I said, I'm high on Keeper Ruiz. I really didn't hate that Scherzer trade for the Nationals at all. I
No,
will
I didn't hate it either. I thought they
I,
did pretty well.
yeah, well, caveat, if they only gave up one of the pieces they gave up, giving up both Scherzer and Turner, it
Yeah,
was
no,
tough,
that
but
was
yeah,
for Scherzer alone, they did pretty well.
yeah. But yeah, I really like Keeper Ruiz, and I think he's got a very good chance to win Rookie of the Year this year in the National League. The only other one I would look out for is Camilo Doval, who I think will be closing
Yes.
games for the Giants.
Yeah, I forgot about him. He was really, really good down the stretch.
He was great, and the stuff is off the charts, and so he's another guy I was looking at. But those are my Rookie of the Year picks.
All right, cool. Any awards that we're missing? I mean,
And
I
we
know
could
there are
talk
other.
Manager of the Year, but
I mean, I'll tell you who I'm not voting for, and I don't care what their records are. I won't vote for Dave Roberts, and I won't vote for Aaron Boone.
yep,
That's it.
I think that's fair.
Because Aaron Boone is the only man who can make Dave Roberts look like a good manager.
I'll say in the American League, I'll give it to Mike Matheny.
I like that call. I like Matheny.
National League, I would say, oof. Maybe they just give it to Buck. Maybe they're just like, all right, Buck, you're back.
I like that.
You made the Mets a good team.
Matheny and Buck.
Yeah.
Matheny and Buck. I like that. All right. Well, it's here almost. 1 week.
A week from today.
A week from today. And we should be live once again next Thursday night. The only way we may not be, I will warn you and everyone right now, my sister is expecting next week.
Yes.
If it happens on a Thursday, I will most likely not be here. I will be getting my ass kicked by a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, wondering why mommy isn't home.
Where's mommy? You're having a sibling.
Yeah. You're getting another brother.
Yeah.
Shut up, Uncle Rick. We want mommy. Okay. Okay. You guys want more candy? No.
No,
we want
mommy.
Okay. Fantastic. I've been calling my sister who's screaming at me on the phone. I'm in the middle of labor. Fuck you. Unless the house is on fire, leave me alone.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't know. They want Oreos. Where are the Oreos?
I can't find the Oreos. Go to the store.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Put them in the car and take them shopping.
Let them get whatever they want.
Yeah, but thank God baseball is finally here. No thanks to Rob Manfred.
Nope.
It should have been today. But one more week, which hopefully means we are in for one hell of a season. Any last words, Mr. Rollins?
No, it's just I haven't looked forward to an opening day as much as this one in a long time. The lockout is part of that. Also, next Thursday is the first round of the Masters. So that's pretty great for me. As a massive golf fan, I'm just going to be glued to a TV all day. As soon as I get back from the radio station, it's just going to be Masters. And then opening day starts at 1, and it'll just be, I'll have 8 screens going at once.
As a man who legitimately doesn't follow golf, I threw $5 on a guy named Guido today.
He's got a very Italian last name too, doesn't he?
Well, with a first name like Guido, I sure hope so.
I think it's like Guido Magliozzi.
Like, something like that. There were a lot of vowels and like a couple of T's, but I was like, your name's Guido
Magliozzi.
I was like, I'll put $5 on you.
Yeah,
that's a great name.
He went 6. He was 6 over today, so
that's not good. I don't think I won that bet. Oh boy! All right. Well, I got to go find $5 somewhere to replace that 5. Thank you, Guido. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for watching. Thank you for joining us. As always, make sure to click the links below. follow on social media. We will see you most likely next Thursday at this time. Thank you for watching.
Peace.